Welcome to episode 62 of Winging It. Chilly here. Hi guys, Chilly here. I'm never going to get over it. Chilly here. How did he say Selhurst, Albert?
Selhurst.
Oh goodness. Albert's back, everybody.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Albert here. Albie here.
Albie. You went off to Morocco, and rumour has it you was expecting to be welcomed with a rug in the back, but instead you just got a car up the back instead.
I went to Morocco to try and sort out Rad Chad, see if I could help with the Rad Chad rehab. But all I got was involved in a car accident within about half an hour of landing, which was tricky, really, because it was quite late at night, and I was asleep in the back of the car to be woken up by a car scraping along my side of the car. So I sort of woke up and, might have sworn in my native tongue. And then obviously you have to pull over, and the driver, who I've only just met, is getting shouted at by several Moroccan people. And first of all, I didn't see what had happened because I was asleep. 2, I can't speak the language. So I think I was the very definition of a spare fucking part, because I was just non comprende. Do you know what I mean? Just couldn't help. They accused him of being pissed. He said, "They're accusing me of being drunk." I said, "Are you?" He said, "No." I said, "Oh, well, don't worry. So when the police come, you'll do a test." And he looked at me like, "What? Don't breathalyse people in Morocco. So you're pissed, mate, and it's your word against theirs."
So you went to Morocco.
Yes.
You went to see Rad Chad.
Yes.
He did his ACL.
Yeah.
Does that?
Rumours were he's in the car behind.
Yeah, Albert's car landed on his leg.
Well, basically, the only word I think you need to know is this one.
شخص بخيل.
That's curmudgeon in Arabic, mate.
Yes.
So.
I wondered what they were saying.
How did they know?
I thought that must have meant handsome or something, because it was just everywhere I went. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I'm going to crack open my beer because you've already got your beers open. What are you drinking?
I'll go first because mine's quite straightforward. I'm drinking a Peroni.
Do.
Come on, Hesketh.
I'm drinking a longboard, which is not wanky. Thank you very much, Albert. And apparently is Hawaiian, which might make it wanky. Which might make it wanky. It's just cool, man.
But it is Hawaiian.
It's
Hawaiian. I thought it was a beer.
We've missed this, Albert.
It's been a while, but I've got a dayer. It's been a while since I had a dayer, but I just couldn't resist. I think particularly you're going to like this, Hesketh. It's called "You Can't Grow Concrete."
Lovely.
Niche.
Classic reference. Look at the can.
Amazing.
That's the presenter. That's the guy. Excellent work. It's a Citra, Centennial Citra. Oh, that's a special report.
Oh.
Don't know. Well, I'm going to taste it. But yeah, great.
All the Citras.
All the Citras. Let's give it a taste.
What's the situation? Is it good?
Okay, no, you're on one today.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is it good?
It's good. Not like...
Can't grow concrete, mate.
Can't grow concrete. Grow concrete. Yeah, not really my flavour profile, but it's still nice.
Albert, what's your flavour profile?
Is that a Craig David song?
Are they Maltesers?
Tell me what's your flavour
profile. Beer. It's a Peroni. Tastes like a Peroni.
Cool.
What do you reckon chili's flavour is?
No.
It's almost definitely going to be like an Aperol Spritz.
I was just about to say that. So it's definitely. I got really excited there. Sorry, I was just about to say that. So it definitely is. It definitely is.
This is awkward because I quite like an Aperol Spritz.
I like an Aperol Spritz as well.
I don't mind an Aperol Spritz.
Yeah, but you like an Aperol Spritz, fucking sour, triple Megatron Citra.
My Aperol Spritz is CBD, but I also like it.
So yeah, Ben Chilwell came in on deadline day of the transfer window. Typically left it to announce at like after everyone was in bed. We spoke about Hesketh in the transfer special. So Albert, happy thoughts?
Yes, happy. Experienced Premier League left back, left wing back, left centre back if we need to. Despite the awkward introduction video, very, very happy with it in pure footballing terms. I think it's a good signing.
Hi guys,
what does it mean, though? Stop it. What does it mean for who, though? That's the more interesting question, I think.
Yeah, obviously we talked about it on the transfer pod that he's not come to sit on the bench if he's fit, has he? That's not the point of him coming. Hopefully, Ty gets a lot out of it in terms of just as Chilwell was keen to point out several times in his introduction video to the club, he's a Champions League winner at left wing back. So, yeah,
chill out, Chile.
It was the COVID Champions League, wasn't it? Does it really count? But no. So someone for Ty to learn from. He said he's keen to help off the pitch as well by getting across his advice and sharing his experiences and things like that. Ty hasn't had that in his entire time at Palace, so could be a good signing for Mitchell as well, even if it reduces his game time for a little bit, if he can learn from him.
Jeff Schlupp feeling very hard done by here.
Jeff Schlupp has just gone off up north to pick up a league winners medal by the end of the season.
Champions League winners medal.
Easy. But yeah, two of them have gone out on loan to collect league winners medals. Rob Holding being the other one, going to Sheffield United. Shaking your head.
Do we reckon he'll play?
Who, Holding?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, that must be why they brought him in. It'd be funny if he didn't, though.
No, I'm sure he'll get game time there. And it remains to be seen if Schlupp gets much game time up north. He's already on the bench tonight, you said.
He's just come on for the last 20 minutes, and they're winning 6-0. So
he's come on just to shut things up.
Yeah.
It's going to finish 6-3.
Schluppy here.
Yeah, it's better you hear that than Jeff here. That would bring back
Yeah.
But I think Schlupp's was 60 grand a week at Palace, and Celtic are covering half of it, apparently, according to.
Blimey.
So every little helps, I guess, but yeah, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
So good luck to those guys. Then we've got some more loan moves out. Wells Morrison is off to Solihull Moors. Has he had another loan move, or has he just been playing?
Yeah, he was at Wealdstone.
Oh,
and came back and is now gone off to another non-league team.
Isn't Wealdstone? You want some?
Yeah,
that team.
And Jack Wells Morrison didn't want some, so he went to Solihull.
Not far from me, actually. The Wealdstone Stadium. The turnstiles are in a shipping container.
Great.
That's not that uncommon for non-league. No. Have you ever seen a Wealdstone Raider in the flesh?
No, but I do know someone who is very, very friendly with the Wealdstone Raider, which I've said I won't go around bragging about it. And he might be one of the only people I know who's weirder than the fucking Wealdstone Raider. So that's really saying something.
Is it
Darren,
Neil for
if
real?
you're listening.
Oh.
No, it's a guy called Darren.
Darren. He's not one of the guys who came to Palace, was he, with you that time?
No.
Not him.
Not him.
Jaden Raymond has gone to Queen's Park. I think that, if I remember rightly, notoriously the most difficult save on Championship Manager 0102.
Wow.
The greatest
Good
game
luck,
ever
Jaden.
made.
Excuse me, what does that mean?
What, Queen's Park? So basically,
what does that mean?
If you started the game as Queen's Park, you basically had zero budget for anything. So you couldn't even sign people because you had no wage budget. So you had to gut the entire team just to get youth players in. Like Jaden Raymond, for example. So there you go. This is one to me. Chris Francis has gone to Dagenham Redbridge.
Yeah, not Chris Richards, like I said. Chris Francis was brought in my head from Bournemouth as the overage player for the under-21s.
He's 48.
And, yeah. He was better than Jaroslav Jack. He might not be better than Rob Holding. I think I've seen him twice.
Is he any relation to Trevor Francis?
I don't know. Looking at him, probably not.
I mean, Chris Francis, to me, it just sounds like he's 9-0 in the middleweight division. About to get a British title shot. The fact he's come from Bournemouth is quite funny because his name fits perfectly with the old style Bournemouth names, if you remember.
Yeah. Everyone
used to joke about.
I'm now just checking to see if he did. He wasn't an overage player, so that's on me. But he was from Bournemouth and Weymouth. So hitting all the big stops on the coast.
You said Luke Plange has gone out on loan somewhere. Where did he go to?
I'm not doing this. I've already been caught out once.
Where did he go on loan to?
He went to a Scottish team
that wear red and yellow.
Red and yellow, and it's not Partick Thistle.
Where's he gone, Albert? Can you remember?
Motherwell?
Yeah, she's good, thanks. But where's Luke Plange?
Where's my airborne?
And then finally, Teo Adamarola, not Taco Adamarola, as it says in my notes, went to Bradford, which is similar colours to Motherwell.
Yeah. Hopefully he does well there. Kind of didn't really get going at Stockport, and he sort of needs to get going.
Well, didn't he get going at Stockport and then someone kicked the shit out of him in the second game or something and injured him for ages?
I think he got injured, very early on. And then they were doing pretty well, so I guess he just didn't get in their team. But hopefully he does well at Bradford.
Okay. In exciting news for Jean-Philippe Mateta, he's been voted for... You can vote for him, sorry. He's been nominated for the Premier League PFA Fans Player of the Month.
Albert won't be voting for him.
Not because it's him.
Wouldn't even know where to go for Chris Wood.
Would he? I wouldn't. I wouldn't even know where to go to place that vote.
PFA Fans Player of the Month.
You're going to get a link. You're going to get a link put in the WhatsApp now.
Send it to me, and I'll vote. I'll vote for Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Yeah. The recognition for Jean-Philippe Mateta's outstanding opening to 2025 keeps on coming, with the Frenchman nominated for the PFA Premier League Fans Player of the Month for January. Having already won Palace's Fans Net 88 Player of the Month accolade and been nominated for Premier League Player of the Month, Mateta finds himself up for another award. So it's on the official site, you can get it. Who's he up against? Chris Wood's got to be in there, I imagine. He's got a bunch of goals this month as well. Anyone else?
Isak.
So it's Ahmad, Phil Foden, Isak, Justin Kluivert, Brian Mbeumo, and Jean-Philippe Mateta.
JP wins that. JP should win that.
I mean, it's a vote, right? So it's whoever's got crazy online fan bases, which probably means Isak.
No Arsenal. No Arsenal players.
Yeah. Are there any Arsenal players on the pitch at St James's Park tonight? What's the score now?
It's 2-0 at the moment.
It's like
2-0 on the night.
2-0 on the night, yeah. 4-0 on aggregate. With 10 minutes to play, just a timestamp this episode.
There you go. Well, let's look back in time to that time we lost 5-4 at Swansea. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you again. No, we're just going to look back to the weekend. And another victory at Old Trafford. Albert, you said your Manchester United supporting missus, preempted it and phoned in sick.
Well, it could have been sweeter because we were meant to have a lot of my wife's family round, which, you know, there's a few more Reds amongst them. But that got cancelled because Joe wasn't very well with a stomach bug. So I didn't get to watch it with them, and I didn't get to watch it with Joe because she was laid up in bed. But it kind of meant I could I could celebrate freely without risk of, a clip round the ear or a burning hot teaspoon on the back of the neck, that sort of low-level intimidation / domestic abuse. So it was good. The kids were torn. The kids are a bit torn because, they don't want their mum to be upset. I just said, look, she's made her bed, literally, and she's currently being sick in it. So
you just asked them, who do you like better, mum or me?
I don't want to know the answer.
I might not. That question might not leave my lips just yet.
Fine.
Well, yes, indeed. But the 11 obviously saw Eze drop out injured, but surprisingly made the bench. Glasner talked about it after and said that it was a surprise to him. Eze and the medical team came to him the day before and said, actually, it's healing up quite well. I think I'll be able to get 25, 30 minutes in. He has said he will miss Doncaster, though, as a result of playing this time, just to give him a bit of a rest.
I think that's fair enough.
But other than that, the same 11, or the other 10. Richards, really key early on as Man United come out the traps a bit fast and gets in a great block from Garnacho, Hesketh, and got to say defensively, a really excellent display from Richards.
Yeah.
Even if his passing leaves a little bit to be desired.
That was going to be my little asterisk. If he could sort his passing out, he'd have been absolutely immense. But yeah, I think, the first 10 minutes or so when they were playing Mainu as the false nine or whatever, sort of baffled us a little bit, and we had a couple of scares, but yeah, that block from Richards was a great start, and then we really grew into the game once we figured out how they were sort of setting up front. We figured it out pretty well, and barely gave him a sniff. I thought Richards was, other than his passing, I thought Richards was excellent.
Yeah, I thought it was really one of the only good bits of play United had in terms of hitting a big switch diagonal in behind Tyre, and it got them to the byline. And really good movement from Garnacho, but great, really well followed by Richards to get the block in. And then they have Mainu hits the post, a big deflection off of Lacroix. He was done well, and I think Henderson's got it covered, hasn't he, Albert, if it is any more on target than it was?
Yeah, I think so. It was part of a spell, like Hesketh said, United were very on the front foot for a good 15, 20 minutes of that first half. And I think once we've sort of got our bearings, we're defensively sound at the best of times, but I think they're just they're such a strange team at the moment. United, you don't necessarily know what you're going to get, and there's an unconventional front three. So there's probably a little bit of apprehension as to what the fuck that meant, and the momentum was definitely with them. But I think once we settled in, like you say, they hit the post, but it's covered, and we kind of very gradually sort of settled into the game, and we'll get onto the second half, I'm sure, and it only sort of improved from there. Really, a couple of dubious performances, particularly in the first half, and we made some changes for the second half, which I think were much needed. But it was, on the whole, I thought it was a great performance.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Theo Walcott on Match of the Day did a really good piece on showing the difference between Mainu playing up front and Mateta playing up front. And as you guys have both said, once we sort of figured out what they were trying to do with our front three, it was basically thank you very much because it was really, really easy to defend against. And which again shows really good from the back three, the relationship they have with each other and that reading of the game in play, because it's hard to get that from the sideline to be able to understand what's fully going on. And I think they did well with it. And then we start to get a presence up the field a bit. And we talked about it on the transfer pod, Hesketh, how Ty has actually, been improving his final product at the other end of the pitch, and he did it again he should have had another assist, really, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he put a couple of good balls in. There was one, the cross for the header that Munoz sort of headed sort of high and wide, which really, I think if he was playing for Colombia, he does some absolutely banana scissor kick and it goes in. And then another sort of smashed cross sort of shot when it was hit, passed back to him from Kamada. And I thought, I thought he was good again, Ty. There was one sort of funny bit in the second half where he found himself with acres of space to run into and ended up just sort of falling over because he didn't know what to do. But I thought his delivery was good, actually, especially in the first half. And maybe he knew that Chilwell was coming in and that he had to start really ramping it up.
Yeah. What do you mean Chili's on his way?
Chili's coming here.
Yeah. Oh, dear. That was that. Did he send that? Was that DM that he sent to that bird? Where was I? Will Hughes, first half. Will Hughes, full stop, but Will Hughes, first half, was just on one.
I like, there's a photo that I think it was probably Seb that took it because it was on the Palace official socials. But it was sort of like from behind Bruno Fernandes, who was definitely having a moan because that's all he does. And Hughes basically just like laughing at him. And there's that kind of ratty behaviour, as well as obviously being good on the pitch. And he's been brilliant all season, as we've talked about. But being that sort of ratty little prick to wind people up I'm here almost as much for that as I am for his actual ability now. It's great.
Well, you got to be careful though now, because the Premier League is looking to potentially punish goal celebrations that are considered mocking. So it won't be too long before Will Hughes, another reason for referees to book him.
They haven't even scored yet, but we know what you're going to do.
Yeah, he's booking as bullshit as well. Bruno Fernandes just threw himself on the floor. Yeah, shocking. If that was any other Palace player making that tackle, he would never have got booked. It's like referees just see Will Hughes and book him.
Yeah.
Let's get it over with.
Let's get it over with. We all know it's going to happen.
Come on.
Yeah. And what about Will Hughes' midfield compadre?
Lerma?
The other one.
Is it my Daichi?
Yeah.
Well, he's next in, isn't he? He gets slotted in behind. And unusual touch, but it's a bad touch, but he then actually sort of turns it around and almost makes the best out of a bad situation. I think all of it's moot because I think he was offside, and then I think Mateta would have been offside if he got on the ball at the back stick anyway, so probably doesn't matter. But I thought Kamada was... I much prefer him in that position. I think he very clearly knows what he's doing up there. And the way that his movement off of Mateta was intelligent, because Mateta kept slotting in between the two centre-backs and running in behind, and they never knew where they were meant to be and kept getting lost and losing it. And that was part of how Daichi got through, because of his intelligent movement off of Mateta, who split the centre-backs and pulled him right out of position, meant there was all that space. I think he should have just, if he controls it with his left first up, he's probably got a shot on goal himself. But you know, he did have good presence of mind to cut back, find Mitchell, and I don't know how it doesn't end up in the back of the net. But as I say, I think it would have been offside anyway. There would have been lines coming out, and yeah. So I'm far more relaxed about Kamada now. I think he's growing.
I thought he fell off. He fell off dramatically in the second half.
Yeah, he hasn't had the 90 minutes, has he? He hasn't had many starts. So, yeah, I think that's understandable, which is probably as well part of the reason why when Ebbs came and said, I can give you half an hour, Glasner was probably all over it, because he could come on and freshen things up a bit. And my God, did he? Like, we'll get into the second half, taking on players again. He wanted to dribble from halfway in his own half. And like beat 4 players. It's unbelievable. But yeah, so unlucky not to score there. Then Mateta's through 1-on-1 from a Lerma pass, brilliant pass.
Great pass.
And unbelievable decision from the ref to stand there and watch the goalie furiously celebrate his brilliant save and then still give a goal kick.
Yeah, mad. Like, even if you hadn't seen the replay, which obviously the referee wouldn't have, there is no way, as shit as Man United might be, you ain't celebrating as someone just missing. Like, mad, absolutely mad.
They've seen his conversion rate percentages and are just like, fucking hell, he's missed one. But yeah, it would have probably crept in given the distance of how much the touch deflected it wide. So I think it would have probably creeped in. As we know, because Mateta just don't miss, does he? So
he don't.
Albert, I can still see your mouth just turn up behind that microphone. No, it's there.
What are you talking about? I'm going to vote for him, for God's sake.
No. Yeah, so probably a bit unlucky to go in at 0-0 at half time. Probably could have got one goal in that first half at least. You'd say first 10 minutes aside, really, really good performance from us. Glasner talked after about how he just, half time showed him the clips, showed him, you just got to keep pushing, got to keep believing because it's coming. But again, another slow start. Keep starting halves slow. And United came again. I mean, Fernandez gets a shot away from the edge after a nice counter from them. Good set piece, though, from us, Albert. We just got caught with it after. But knocks square to Hughes, who knocks it to the back stick. And Lerma creates a block, which is like, for the last 2 years, we've had to watch every other team do set pieces and block us off, block runners and things like that. So it's kind of nice to see us start getting involved.
It was like watching Arsenal, wasn't it? These masterful set pieces.
Well, they're the only team to have scored more than us from set pieces. So.
It's become such a vital part of football, and I think the sort of hubris and hyperbole around Arsenal and I don't know who was it? There was a pundit who was like that fucking Arsenal set piece coach. He gets up and fucking celebrates when they score. Like, sit down and shut up. I can't think who that was, but I kind of was like, yeah, fair enough. Like, it's the first set piece coach that's sort of become like this fucking mini celebrity. But it is an important part of football, and I don't know who's doing ours, but because they certainly don't fucking nick the spotlight when we score. But yeah, it's good to see us do it because we've been so bad. I mean, for years we couldn't even take a fucking throw in properly. Do you know what I mean? Like years of just watching Palace players just stand there while someone's just fucking looking for a throw for 18 seconds. Like, it's really nice to see it's become a bit more sort of part of our armoury. It's good.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Lerma's long throws? They got a shake of the head from Hesketh.
Well, you don't like him?
Well, he's the one I want on the end of him.
Oh, see.
I mean, whatever, they're fine. I can only remember a couple of them actually getting flicked on, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a few more in the United game did, and
Yeah.
it's the typical sort of havoc off the second ball. And
Yeah.
we're good at winning second balls under Glasner, so it's not a bad tactic. I don't think.
No.
I think it will lead to a goal at some point this season.
I'll take it. I won't shake my head if it does. I'll nod my head. I'll say, very good. Well done, Jefferson.
Well done, Jefferson.
Well done, Jeffy.
Jeffy.
All is right in the world now that we only have one Jeff. You can't have two Jeffs, as we said.
I got about 30 seconds after Palace put the news out that he'd gone on loan, Schlupp. I got a text literally 30 seconds later saying, what are you going to complain about now, from the bloke I stand next to at Palace. I'll find something. There's always something.
You cunt.
On to page 2 of the complaint book.
But good save from Dino from Fernandes on that breakaway, and then he makes another brilliant save with his feet from an Uranu.
Good. Roberto Baggio free kicks and shooting stars references. Fuck me, it's like I'm doing my GCSEs all over again.
We know our target audience age.
But yeah, excellent save from Dino, and bounces very fortunately back into his hands, and then from that point on, it's kind of comfortable for Palace. We take the lead. Another free kick this time. Eze again, sort of centralist position, gets crossover. What do you think, Hesketh? Foul? Would you want it? Has Lacroix pushed him, or is it more just sort of like a bit of guiding a bit of distance off of him?
Yeah, I don't think that's a foul. I think it was Yoro that he was in front of him, who was just weak all game anyway. I mean,
how much they paid for him again?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, he is a child, to be fair, but I just think it was he's a stronger guy. He had the momentum to head the ball on. I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but the sort of the Scott Dan free kick, when we had a sort of period when it was every free kick and corner was like, just stick Scott Dan at the far post and aim at his head, and he'd always get it across. It was a really good header. It was a brilliant ball from Ebbs. Good header, and then obviously JP, as they always say, right place, right time. Also enjoyable to watch the many angles of it back and just see Harry Maguire just look like he doesn't know where he is or why there's a football anywhere near him. That's always fun. Yeah,
and he has the feeling, as Glasner was saying after the game. He's just got the feeling. As all good strikers have when they're in form. Yeah, first to react. Kicks the corner flag. Boom. Everyone's happy. But then basically fucking comfortable. Like nothing really happens until we scored a second, which is comfortable.
Yeah.
Just seeing them off quite easily, just waiting for that one big transition that creates the counter-attack, and Morton's come on by this point, and lovely to see him involved, Albert, after so long out, with just what we came to know from him at the back end of last season, just picking the ball up, immediately looking forward, one pass, put Sarr into a heap of space, and it's lovely from there on.
Yeah, the Wharton, how long was he on for? Sort of 15 minutes, if that?
Yeah.
Like that little 15 minute, I mean, can you call it a cameo if it's 15 minutes? But that little spell was a really nice, it was almost like a YouTube reel of Adam Wharton, because he just did all the things that he does really well and makes them look really simple. You know, he was closing down in the midfield and just getting a foot in or an interception. And then, like you said, Terence, like looking up and progressing the ball forward. He was tracking back. He was holding the ball. Like, it was just a really, he does that. It was really good to see. And again, the fact that he's now, fucking bite your tongue, the fact that he's becoming more available, and Eze staying fit. You know, we've gone from sort of scratching about who's our midfield two, and we've been very fortunate that Lerma and Hughes, who have sort of been the most consistent ones, certainly consistent in being selected, their places are now potentially under threat, which again, it's sad for them, but it's a great problem for Glasner to have. So it was. I think that was really nice. It was really nice to see Eze. Again, it was a half an hour cameo. It's not a cameo, but a good Ebbs half hour. Again, putting in the free kick for the goal, taking players on, not slowing the ball down. Like it was a real sort of little sort of tasting menu of what our best players can do when they're on form. So it was a lovely sort of collage.
How poetically put. Yeah, I agree with the Wharton thing. I completely agree. And I think it's what Glasner calls Wharton's pre-orientation, where he just knows where that ball is going, who is stood where before he's even got the ball. And if you look at that second goal that we scored, it comes from him cutting out a Xerxes pass and just sort of taking a mini touch and then putting it straight across to Sarr, who's obviously in space. And it's just like it's that sort of automatic, his natural, I just know where this pass is going as soon as I've cut it out. He hasn't even cut the ball out yet, and he knows where it's going. And that sets up the entire move that ends up with a brilliant pass and a nice breakaway goal. And he was saying, I think it was Wharton himself was saying, I just ran over to the fans straight away when we scored that goal because they've been brilliant and it's great to be out there. And he's such an important player that even for 15 minutes or whatever it was he was on, having been out for however many months, you're reminded instantly of what a good player is and how important he's going to be to us getting that ball moving quicker, which is something that we've been sort of frustrated at not doing this season.
Yeah. And Glasner touched on that after the game, saying that, we talked about after the Brentford game, getting the ball forward quicker, and Sarr's vision is brilliant. I mean, the run is incredibly telegraphed by Munoz. There was no airs and graces, just fucking bombed down the middle of the pitch for circa 80 yards. And nice to see that from Sarr. You were used to him being on the one running onto that, but to see him have the vision and pick that pass out is a nice part of his game that I'd like to see develop a little bit more. But he puts through Munoz, linked with City, Chelsea and Barcelona now in the last week. And I mean, he's good enough. I don't think there's any doubt now in a team that plays on the front foot all the time. Having someone like that as a fullback is going to be hugely beneficial. And you fear with a team like City, for example, because Kyle Walker's just gone and so on. And yeah, he could go to one of those top teams and really impress. And it's going to have to be now, really, because he's 28.
Dani Alves vibes.
But, I mean, we can basically, I think, ask what we want for him, to be honest. It's going to be, if he does end up, if one of those teams come in with a big bid for him, it's obviously going to be bye-bye. It's been beautiful while it lasted, but it's going to be a humongous markup on what we bought him for, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we have to. That's our lot, isn't it? At the moment, we normally it's younger talent from the Championship that we then try and flip round. But what did we pay for Munoz? 8? Was it 8 million?
No, just
7.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a bit like Joachim Andersen. We obviously we paid a bit more for him, but you sign a player for 7 million, you keep him for 2 years, 2.5 years, and if someone wants to come in and give us 40 million for what would probably be a 29-year-old, you kind of have to go, yeah, fuck it. That's kind of take the money and wish him all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully he wins an FA Cup with us first and gives European football a go before he...
And then hands in his transfer request.
But yeah, and then just United have a couple of barely half chances in injury time, but we see the game out nicely. A lot of injury time as well. It was just 10-ish minutes, wasn't it? Something like that.
Because of that bloody Martinez getting rinsed and falling over and hurting himself.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to touch on that. I mean, it's a disgraceful decision to give a foul against him. I mean,
yes, it is.
Sucks to be him, but this is delayed karma for 2-footing Kamada and getting away with it in the first game. So So
Yeah, I mean,
him.
The fact that the linesman give it, and it's not even like, when you see a player out muscle another where he's sort of got his arm on him. Sarr just runs past him. He just runs past him. It's just not a foul.
And also the fact he's running towards goal, my understanding those things, you should really be letting play go on and let VAR deal with that after. But
yeah.
Annoying. His knee's still going to be fucked if you let play go on.
Exactly.
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it was only the week before he did another one of those 2-footed jumps on a player.
Mm-hmm.
It was only a matter of time before he hurt someone, so probably
so what
better,
you're saying is
we're all concerned that
it's good for the league. That's what we're saying. It's for the greater good.
No, it sucks. You don't want to see players going off injured that badly. I would say, I hope it's a short amount of time for him, but by all reports, it doesn't look like it's going to be. So, so we pick up our 4th win in our last 6 trips to Old Trafford after only managing 2 in our history before that. So, pretty impressive going there for starters. We've become the first team in Premier League history to win. To keep 4 clean sheets against United in a row. So
that's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive. I think we became the first team to score an injury time winner in the Premier League at Old Trafford as well, didn't we? We're picking up some lovely records there.
The first away team to do it.
Yeah, the first away team to do it. That's right, yeah. I think Bournemouth did it last season. I think it was Bournemouth. Someone did it last season as well, and so to become the second team to do it. But I think all these things are just a kind of testament to the fucking doldrums that Man United find themselves in, that we're just rocking up there every year and expecting to win.
Chilly here.
It's just really annoying because it means I can never go to Old Trafford because I've only seen us win once there, and that was the Ambrose game. Pretty good game to go to, obviously. But then every time I've been in the Premier League since we've come up, I think the best result was a 0-0 draw. So every time I don't go, we fucking win. It's annoying.
Albert managed to see a 0-0 draw when we won 1-0. So. Some more lovely stats coming out again. JP has only 4 players have scored more than him in the Premier League since Glasner's arrival, which is pretty good going in itself. And in that time, he has 15 more goals for Palace than any other Palace player. Oof. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And I would imagine second place is Elise.
It's a lot, but I can believe it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that unbelievable, is it?
Do you know what's...
Yeah. He has 15 more goals than Trevor Chalobah.
Yeah, Trevor Chalobah's on the list, which is a sad thing.
Yeah, that's what it's likely to be.
There was they did have a stat about JP on Match of the Day, which was like him under Roy, him under Glasner. And I think under Roy it was something like 11 goals in 80 games. And under Glasner it's 23 and 37 or something. It's absolutely insane difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, we see it, don't we? You see it every week where he doesn't look like this. He literally doesn't look like the same player now that he did, 2 years ago. So,
and they were saying, 8 of the starting 11, I think, were there on the weekend, were there under Roy. So I think it just shows how much of a fucking genius Glasner is, yet again, to be honest. And I've got to try and get some more years out of him. As Carl said on the last pod, we're going to win something under him. I can feel it.
Yep. Give him the bag.
Give him the bag. And if we do win something under him and it starts this season, it's going to continue with Monday night's game against Doncaster away in the FA Cup. Albert, one of my friends has pulled out. I've got a spare ticket. Do you fancy it?
I wish I could. Monday's just not the one, is it?
Well,
you're nearer to Doncaster than we are.
That's true.
You haven't got to get through all that London M25 traffic bullshit. You just drive straight up.
Can I flag down one of the free coaches on the hard shoulder of the M1?
Yeah, they're probably leaving at like 6 a.m, mate. So
yeah. Although we're on the 2:30 train up, aren't we?
You might be.
Oh, is that how it is?
I'm on a train not long after you, though. I think my train is at like 3.
Just talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to have a quick Google of the journey.
It's not far, mate.
And it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick on the train, it turns out.
The last time I went to Doncaster was about 15 years ago to play football, and it took a long time to get there because the minibus that we'd hired, someone curbed it, and then the wheel was bent, and we had to wait to get towed.
And then
so
you got called. Did you get called a name in Arabic afterwards, or?
Hang on, you don't have much luck with cars, do you? But I mean, Doncaster is the location of one of the.
It's a 3-hour fucking drive.
Is that good?
No, it's not far. It's fucking 3 hours in the car each way, you mad bastards.
Well, we're getting the train. It's quick on that.
Fuck's sake. Anyway, I watch it on the TV.
Will you? It's on iPlayer, mate. You might have to log in.
That's fine. Yes, I do have a TV license.
Okay, good. That was just my way of finding out if you're a criminal or not.
Hang on, don't you get to vote on the BBC Awards or something? What are those? BAFTAs.
The BAFTAs, yeah, I do. But I don't think Palace Doncaster's up for any awards this year.
It's cinematography.
Well, if it's anything like that classic Palace game away at Doncaster when we equalised, or we drew 0-0. I think we drew 0-0, and we were stressed about relegation, and then we just stayed behind after and sung "Don't Worry About a Thing" for 45 minutes after the match. That was a mental. Were you there that day, Hesketh?
I was, yeah.
That was one of the most mental, because it was just completely spontaneous, out of nothing, and nobody left.
Yeah.
Dash
stewards must be thinking, I want to go home. Why
does anyone want to stay in Doncaster? Go home.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour drive. You better leave soon.
Yeah. Was that also Ibrahim Kaja? Was that his goal there? Was that a Donny in another game?
I think he scored against Hull.
Oh, it might have been. Who am I thinking?
I think. I might be wrong.
No, I think you're right there. Let's have a little look.
Whilst you're having a little look.
Get this chilly video off my screen. Show it here.
Albert.
Hello.
FA Cup. Obviously rotating the team.
Yes.
Who are you going with?
No, I'm not fit.
Are you not? All right.
Nah. Who am I going with? Well, we say there's no Eze anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think come on, let's give Nketiah a run out. Come on, this is the one.
Would you start Eze?
Yes, I would actually. Yeah, I'd put Eze in. I'd put Nketiah in. Maybe too soon for Wharton to start. I wouldn't run that risk. Kamada, I imagine, just to get a bit more game time. And really, Chile. Is Chile in contention? Champions League Chile?
I say this completely seriously. Is he fit?
Yeah, I do associate him with being a bit of a Chelsea croc.
Because the problem is, he has been a croc, but now he's also in the sort of in the vein of Trevor Chalobah, where they just want him to fuck off. So I don't know if he's injured or just out of favour, or both.
Well,
let's hope someone from our end checked.
Yeah.
That OnlyFans girl didn't think he was fit because you didn't respond to his DM. It was Kieran Dejali in a 1-1 draw at Doncaster was what I was thinking.
That's who he DM'd. Oh.
Ibrahim Kaja was against Hull, which guaranteed safety, equalised to make it 1-1 late on. Yeah.
I'm sure they both had sterling careers.
Do you want to delve?
Yeah, why not?
Ibra
Albert.
Sakaja.
What else can we ask Albert whilst he's playing Roberto Baggio free kicks?
Oh my goodness. Ibra Sakaja. Crystal Palace, 2 appearances, 1 goal. And then while he was with us, he had loans to Kettering, Bromley, Milton Keynes, and Barnet. Scored no goals. Inverness Caledonian Thistle, permanent, 4 appearances, no goals.
She's fine,
great, thanks. Livingston, 11 appearances, 2 goals. Braintree Town, 2 appearances, no goals. Hemel Hempstead Town, 2 goals. Dulwich Hamlet, 12 goals.
Oof, prolific.
Bognor Regis Town, 7 goals. Havant and Waterlooville, 0. Gosport Borough, 2. Maidenhead, 1. Dulwich Hamlet, 5. AC Ulu, before he still plays for Welling. There you go. Or he's on the books at Welling according to his wiki, but no appearances. I don't know. Oh, AC Ulu is a Finnish club.
How old is he?
I think it doesn't matter how old he is. Everything says he's finished. Shout out to Ibra Sakaja. But yeah, Donny, Finland. It's going to be beautiful, Hesketh. We're going to go all that way with loads of optimism, dreaming of the last 16, and we're going to lose 1-0 to a Billy Sharp goal.
Oh, fucking hell. I didn't know he was still knocking about.
39 years old, got 10 goals this season.
Bloody hell. They're doing it right, I think, aren't they? I have to admit, amateurish as it may be to admit, I haven't looked at the League 2 table. I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, I think they're second behind Walsall, who are basically running away a bit.
So they're doing all right.
They're doing all right.
I would like to think we'd win. I think we should have too much for them. Not in a very strongly willed way I'm saying this, but we should.
Similar to how we convincingly turned over Stockport, you mean?
Yeah, like if we score in the first 5 minutes, settle in. It's going to be a long, cold
floodgates
one.
are open.
Yeah. What do you reckon, T? Do you reckon we're going to go fairly strong? Do you reckon we're going to see maybe like someone like Kapora getting the start?
No, because I think Munoz is gonna play any. Munoz is just a machine, so he'll play. I reckon we'll probably go really strong at the back and then a bit more experimental up front. I think obviously probably likely to see an Nketiah start. Probably Eze in there as well. Obviously we know Eze won't be making the trip, but yeah. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think we're going to go there by any stretch of the imagination and run them over. But
what about these dirty rumours going around that Mateus France is alive?
Well,
I honestly thought you were going to say injured again.
He was going to be in the squad for the United game and then wasn't. So I did some sort of flare up.
I did read that Glasner said he wants him to play for the 21s for a bit first. And I think they have a game on Monday, or they've got a game around the time of the cup game anyway. So I would imagine he plays for them rather than
just tell him it's Doncaster. He won't know.
He won't know.
This is the FA Cup game, mate.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for him that he can get fit and stay fit.
Are you playing Hendo, or are you giving Turner a game?
I think Turner will probably play.
Yeah, I reckon so too.
Agreed.
Yeah, but hopefully, we'll have enough to get through, because this, Stockport at home and Doncaster away to get into the last 16 of the FA Cup can't ask for much more than that to get into the serious rounds and try and kick on from there. So, but yeah, Luke Molyneux's their top scorer, if you're interested. 12 goals, 5 assists this season. So him and Billy Sharp are the ones that we need to look out for, I think.
Noted.
Well Well, I can't wait to see you up there and anyone else who's going. I still can't believe I'm on a 2:30 train and it only takes like an hour and 50 on the train, so we're going to be there pretty early. Especially if watching the Super Bowl the night before as well, I would imagine. Oh.
You can be watching the Super Bowl, Albert?
No.
No, same. Alas, sorry.
No. I've tried before, and by the time I've got a handle on what the fuck's going on, I've fallen asleep.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not necessarily for everyone. Looking forward to a bit of Kendrick Lamar at halftime as well. Right, that's it. Albert, it was lovely to have you back.
Thanks. It was good to be back, despite the abuse and the.
Are you on next week, or are you off again? Is it 1 week on, 1 week off? I don't know. I can't remember what your schedule is.
I think. Well, it's not my fault you slipped in an extra one whilst I was away. That's not my fault.
That's what Chili was trying to do.
No. Chili here. Put it away.
Hi guys, Chili here.
Stop it. Yeah, I think I'm around next week. I'll check the diary.
Okay, yeah. So we'll be back next week to have a review of hopefully victory at Donny and look ahead to Everton. Big game at Selhurst. Don Eagles.
We'll be discussing match day prices.
So what victory is that? Getting a pickled egg for under £3?
Exactly. But need to start beating some teams at Selhurst as well to go away with our fantastic away form. What is it now? 9 unbeaten away? Club record
just makes that Brentford. I know it wasn't away, but it just makes that Brentford result ever so slightly annoying.
It does. But don't worry, Brighton are capitulating. We'll be ahead of them soon.
Just to mention, Lewis Dunk scoring an own goal when there's absolutely no pressure on him whatsoever is still funny. I know we mentioned it in the last pod. It's still funny. And also, whilst I remember, shout out to the Palace women's team for getting a last-minute equaliser away to Brighton.
They were unlucky to lose a reverse fixture 1-0, to be honest. So
and Brighton are doing all right this year, so good result for the women's team.